Hello, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Brandon, also known as Branmatt, and welcome to yet another StarCraft II replay. Today we're going to be pulling another replay that isn't professionals, but still two really good players. In fact, it's a Diamond and Masters player, a High Masters player. I think what I'm going to try to do now is just start pulling more games from people who aren't Grandmasters, still really good players, and even if you're Bronze or Silver, I'd be fine casting those games. Submit those over to scbranmatt@gmail.com, but these games, I love casting these because they're not higher league games like professionals, but they're still really good and still really fun to watch. So I think I'm going to try to do that with the channel, get about 50% professional games, 50% non-professional, still good players, but and good replays, trying to cast not only professional games. So spawning down here in the bottom right-hand corner of Akalon Wastes as our red Terran player is Johnneyboyy, and he's throwing down his first supply depot here, as well as his first refinery is just going down. And up here in the top left-hand corner of the map, we have our blue Zerg player, Mikasa, I want to say is the name. Sorry if I completely messed up that pronunciation of the name, but I think it's Mikasa, so that's what we're going to call them during this game. And they have, of course, got their first two overlords headed out. This overlord might just sit at the ramp, but I know this other overlord is headed across the map. I'm gonna have to see. He's probably over here, just wants to scout out what's going on over here in our Terran friend's base. And the first barracks coming down, it looks like it'll be a typical Terran wall up. Just wants to try to get down those supply depots and barracks to block off from any sort of early rush or anything. The drone's coming out here, and you can see just how slow that overlord is. The drone just completely passes already, and we already have an expansion, natural expansion coming down for Mikasa, who's gonna throw that down right off the bat. As well as has this extractor coming down, but we don't even see any sort of spawning pools coming down just yet or anything like that. So just wants to get that right off the bat. Supply depot under attack here for just a short while, but that drone isn't going to be able to get in as its supply depot was started up right as he was coming over. So that's going to be able to completely block off any sort of scouting, but there's nothing too crazy coming out from Johnneyboyy at this point in time. Just the overlords heading out, and these overlords will be able to poke in the base anyway, be able to get a little bit of looking around. That is, if there is no Marines, which he's immediately going to throw down a reactor onto this barracks and is building a factory. So starting to get up right off the bat, a lot of different structures. So it has that factory, the barracks, has the reactor coming down. We only have the one refinery at this point, which could help him in production of maybe some early Hellions or Widow Mines, which would be really helpful against the Zerg player here, especially in a very early push. Spawning pool is now just finishing up here, and he's already researching the speed for the Zerglings, and it doesn't look like he's producing any Zerglings just yet. There we go. His first Zerglings are now coming out, but he does have the Queens coming out in either the base, starting to get up quite a few drones at both of those bases as well. Wants to make sure that he has proper income at all of those bases. These overlord over here are going to probably scout out, just make sure he's not getting his third base anytime soon, going to be able to watch that base. And we do see, actually, they're going to swap out. That barracks is going to lift up, fly over here, as we can see, and that factory is going to come down for that refinery and start producing those Hellions I was talking about a little bit earlier. And we do see a reactor coming down now on the barracks as well, so unless if he's going to swap again, which I doubt he will, he's probably just going to continue producing Marines, unless if he wants to get double medevacs at his starport here, which is also about halfway done. And hasn't taken his natural just yet. That's completely fine. These Zerglings poking up here will spot, maybe. It looks like he probably might have seen the Hellions here. These Hellions are going to move out. There's 4 of them now, so that could be quite a threatening force. See quite a few Hellions moving across those maps. Those 2 Zerglings may die off, but he does know that these Hellions are coming now. Will he stop to kill those Zerglings? Doesn't look like he's going to completely pass by. He just wants to get straight in that base. Actually, he will go ahead and opt to kill. He got 1 Zergling, not both of them, but we do see the spine crawlers here out at the front. These 2 Queens ready for the defense, but completely bypassing them, heading back here. Probably get off quite a few drone and Zergling kills right off the bat here. Gonna head in, gets a few kills, but these Hellions are just gonna go down so quickly cleaned up. So good job by Mikasa here. Completely just cleaning that up. And if we check, there were 4 workers killed, which is good. You got a few workers killed, and also 10 workers here, or 10 additional units. So he has a few unit kills and worker kills, and these Zerglings are going to hop their way over to the other side of the map. Still no natural here. It looks like he's going to be throwing down the command center just now anyway, though, as this Starport out here, and quite a few units at the front starting to produce these medevacs, as well as Widow Mines here is going to be able to protect that front here. I don't think he saw that drop going out. He may not have seen that drop. He has his third base coming down, so this is a pretty quick third. He's just going for a huge economic advantage at this point, but he's probably not even going to see this drop. This Overlord will spot the drop, though, so he will see it coming out. And this could be really bad. There's actually no queens down here, so he might be able to force a cancel on the third here, but he's going to go right in here. He might burrow these Widow Mines just in time. This could be huge. And the Spore Crawler coming down here, but it won't be in enough time. And these two Marines out going to maybe kill off that Spore Crawler, lifting up and going to be taken off right here. And we'll be able to spot once the Spore Crawlers finish these Widow Mines. The Widow Mines are still there. I don't think that Mikasa knows that they're there. He will spot them now. These Widow Mines are going to have to make quick work here. Might be able to get a few kills. No, actually, they're going to opt to lift up here. And might be able to be picked up by the medevac. Burrowing again. Might get a queen kill. If that queen was a little bit that. Medevac's actually killed off, and it does look like they got a few shots off here, but nothing too damaging. They're kind of just trapped in a corner now here. They have to stay away from the Spore Crawlers, not get picked off by these Zerglings. The Zerglings do spot them, and might be able to get the kill off here. Smartly pulling back, doesn't want to have a huge amount of units there. Also has these Marines now pushing at the front here. Might be able to kill off that Spine Crawler pretty quickly. Where are the Zerglings? There was another, it looks like there was a drop going on back here. The Marines are going to be able to move in, maybe get a few kills here. And then that force will be quickly cleaned up. These Widow Mines also being killed off. And third base now completely finished. He's going to have to start putting drones down here to get his economy up. Again, he has quite a bit of economy. And if we compare the economy here, Mikasa has the clear lead in terms of minerals. And it's a little bit back and forth. But Johnneyboyy does have a little bit more gas coming in now. But just huge forces coming in here now. And we do have this huge Zergling force. Looks like it will be pushing in here. This Zergling army might be able to do a ton of damage. Nothing really here to defend it. These Hellions will be able to do quite a bit of damage, especially trapped in that corner. That's a very good move here. Being able to capture this corner like this. They're going to try to probably move up here. 3 Hellion kills right there. Not properly rallying that. Actually, he'll pull out, and that Hellion will actually get out. He'll be able to drop down this base again, continue mining from it. And I don't know that he lost much more. And this base has actually come under attack too. A drop came in here, able to get off quite a bit of health off of this main base here. And actually not getting much damage here on this macro hatchery here. Hasn't thrown down a 4th base just yet. Still getting his 3rd base up and operational at this point. The Overlord is still in the back of this natural base, so he's going to be able to see when SCVs have transferred. And that'd be the perfect opportunity for him to move in there and start dealing quite a bit of damage here. Unloading, might be able to get off quite a few Zergling kills here. Actually will quickly opt to lift up that army, causing a little bit of damage, but not too terribly much. Probably not even worth the trade. Zerglings moving across the map again. Up here, this Widow Mine's got a burrow. If he doesn't want to be caught out in the open. More Zerglings and Marines and Widow Mines coming out. The Zerglings are moving into the base now. Might be able to kill off a mule here, but that's nothing too major. Able to attack this base. He might have to lift up this base yet again. This is causing a bunch of trouble. These Zerglings are really restricting the economy of Johnneyboyy here. Johnneyboyy is going to continue dealing damage here. We'll probably be able to clean up this Zergling force here pretty quickly. And there we go. We see all the Zerglings finally being finished off. And he is now starting to mine from the second base, but restricting that second base for so long that can be so damaging. The big problem with constantly restricting that is he constantly Widow Mine, nice shot off there, but constantly restricting that second base is just causing him so much economic damage. He needs that economy to continue growing. He does have quite a few structures out here for producing units, but he could produce so much more if he's able to finally get that base established here, and all he has on it right now is mules. He has quite a few minerals sitting around, which makes me wonder why he's not actually producing any sort of SCVs for that base. But he needs to start producing SCVs for that base and start growing his economy. Headed over here with 2 medevacs, will be spotted by that Overlord. Might be able to get a 3rd base kill here. There's a few Zerglings wildly patrolling around. They will probably all be quickly finished off by this force. SCV brought along, not exactly sure why. It might be for a bunker, but I doubt it, especially this late into the game. And of course, Zerglings moving around here to a second medevac, not really serving much of a purpose right now. Dropping off these Hellions really won't be able to get much kills, and that force will be completely cleaned up. That SCV just barely getting away. Marines coming out here, they're going to probably be surrounded and completely cleaned up, completely strange movement around there. He doesn't even have them attacking. These two Marines will be finished off as well. Moving up here with the medevacs, just so many attempts at dropping at this point, but really the big problem here is he has no economy. He's really lacking in terms of economy. If we open it up here, it's just, we see how overwhelming Mikasa is ruling right now, with just so much more minerals and gas, and this big attack here, constantly able to continue producing these Zerglings. Even though they're only Zerglings, he's just able to constantly pump them out. How much restrictions he's put on Johnneyboyy. Johnneyboyy is even facing trouble now. He needs to continue producing units, get a good army set up here across the top of the ramp to keep those Zerglings from pushing up and into this base. Mule coming along, misrallied there, probably going to go back to mining, calling down additional mules again, but completely mining mules off of this base isn't really going to help. He's probably going to start transferring some of these workers from their main base down here as the minerals are beginning to go dry there. And this third base completely up and operational at this point. Quite a bit of a drop coming down, but again, I don't see this drop working very well. Already, Mikasa has proven that time and time again that they can continue to push away these big drops and not really cause that much damage from Johnneyboyy. So Johnneyboy's going to come out here, probably not even going to get a third base kill here. Might be able to pick off quite a few Venus and Mulas to start out here. They might actually get cleaned up pretty quickly, and then here comes all the Zergling forces. Immediately has to lift and take a little bit of damage, actually losing one of those medevacs. The second medevac is able to get out. He's going to heal up those units now, but this is just so much damage, and a big drop coming in here now as well for this main base. He might be able to get a few drone kills. It looks like he was able to get a few. He's attacking these bases now, but quickly cleaned up again by that Zergling force. Dropping again, just so many drops going on simultaneously. He's really hoping that these drops will work. Quite a few drones will get surrounded by these Zerglings, and might? No, he actually ends up losing all of those Zerglings. Another force coming in here of Hellions and additional Marines. Johnneyboyy just continues pushing and pushing with more and more pressure, but I don't even think it's pressure at this point. He's just trying to keep out there. He might be trying to do some sort of pressure, but Mikasa just has so much more units. I mean, our Zerg player is just able to clean this up so quickly. It's almost a waste of mineral for Johnneyboyy to continue trying to do this. He's finally mining out of this second base here, but barely mining. I mean, out of this first base, has it oversaturated already. These Zerglings going to come across, might be able to get off a few SCV kills here. We'll start moving around. We do see SCVs will start falling already. These forces coming here, we'll probably be able to clean them up. But again, a few SCV kills here. Will he be able to continue? There we go. We see him continue to mine. But again, it's just over mining on this base. Doesn't even have a third base, it looks like, being built anywhere in sight. He's just trying to constantly keep up this pressure. Those Mutalists notice that, hey, there's not even a third base, and he's looking around for any more bases or any more signs of bases. Johnneyboyy just here at the front, going to try to continue building up units, and actually able to cause a little bit of pressure here. Might try to move out and cause a little bit more pressure again, but with some of these Zerglings, those Hellions are probably good choices. But do these Hellions, they don't even have any upgrades on them just yet. And the Marines, I don't believe, had any upgrades as well. They do have 1-1, so a little bit of upgrades here. But if we look at the Zerglings, what are the Zerglings currently? They are 2-2, so just so much more damage output here. And these Hellions, this whole force is just surrounded, a bunch of them cleaned up again. Some of these medevacs able to pick up some of the units, but a huge Mutalist force coming along here. These units will be cleaned up immediately, and GG comes out from Johnneyboyy and leaving the game. So congratulations to our Zerg player, Mikasa. Again, I believe that's how you say it. He did really well. I'm surprised. I'm not saying Johnneyboyy did a really bad job this game. He did a really good job at keeping up his unit production, but it seems like he was just throwing things at our Zerg player, just constantly throwing units. They served really no purpose. He caused a little bit of damage, never actually even finished off a base. That first pressure, it would make sense for him to go in, realize he's lost, he pulls back out, but he went back in again with a really small force, and these Zerglings just continue and clean up those forces. I think it was really all down to the fact that Johnneyboyy just kept throwing units in uselessly that weren't causing really any damage for Mikasa to have any sort of problems. And that's where Johnneyboyy, I think, lost the game. So congratulations to our zerg player for actually winning the game, and for both players for putting on a good game. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to like the video, maybe even favorite. And if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, leave your comments down below on what you thought about the game. And thank you again so much for watching this game. I'll see you guys next time.